Hello and welcome to today's video about the Pythagorean theorem. This theorem has been a fundamental part of mathematics for thousands of years, and we'll be exploring what it is, how it works, and some practical applications. So, let's get started. What is the Pythagorean theorem? The Pythagorean theorem is a statement about the relationship between the sides of a right triangle. It states that the sum of the squares of the two shorter sides of a right triangle is equal to the square of the longest side, which is also known as the hypotenuse. In mathematical notation, this can be written as a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where a and b are the lengths of the shorter sides, and c is the length of the hypotenuse. How does it work? Let's take a closer look at the Pythagorean theorem and how it works. Imagine we have a right triangle with sides of length a, b, and c, where c is the hypotenuse. We can draw squares on each side of the triangle, where the area of each square is equal to the length of its corresponding side squared. The square on the hypotenuse has an area of c squared, while the squares on the other two sides have areas of a squared and b squared, respectively. Now, if we add the areas of the squares on the shorter sides together, we get a squared plus b squared. And if we add the area of the square on the hypotenuse, we get c squared. According to the Pythagorean theorem, these two expressions must be equal, so a squared plus b squared equals c squared. This relationship holds true for all right triangles, no matter the size or shape of the triangle. Practical applications. The Pythagorean theorem has many practical applications, especially in fields like architecture, engineering, and physics. For example, if you're building a roof for a house, you need to know the length of the diagonal to make sure it fits properly. The Pythagorean theorem can help you calculate the diagonal length based on the width and height of the roof. Another application of the Pythagorean theorem is in navigation. If you're sailing a boat and want to know the distance between two points, you can use the theorem to calculate the straight line distance between them, even if there are obstacles in the way. The Pythagorean theorem is also used in physics to calculate the magnitude of forces. For example, if you know the x and y components of a force, you can use the theorem to find the total magnitude of the force. History and origins. The Pythagorean theorem is named after the ancient Greek mathematician Pythagoras, who is credited with discovering the relationship between the sides of a right triangle. However, it's likely that the theorem was known to other cultures before Pythagoras, such as the Babylonians and the Chinese. The Pythagorean theorem has been studied and used by mathematicians and scientists for centuries. In fact, it's one of the most well-known and widely used theorems in all of mathematics. In conclusion, the Pythagorean theorem is a fundamental concept in mathematics that has been used for thousands of years. It provides a relationship between the sides of a right triangle and has many practical applications in fields like architecture, engineering, and physics. Whether you're a student learning about the theorem for the first time or a professional using it in your work, the Pythagorean theorem is an essential tool to have in your mathematical toolbox. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.